The distortion of the fabric of space and time around one black hole also exists for the other black hole. So you have black holes entering each other's event horizons. So I opened up that thesis. I didn't understand a single page in it. And fuck your ass.
Meetups podcast, found exclusively on Spotify and YouTube. First of all, I'd like to thank our sponsors of this podcast, The Energy, Release the Beast, found in flavours of original and blue V.
You good? I'm trying to... Don't worry about it. The podcast has begun. It's a... Oh, fuck. Here we go. Alright. Well, how you guys going? The podcast has begun. Hopefully you're doing something productive. Hopefully someone's in the gym right now pumping iron. You could be taking a shit. You could be lying on your bed. I just hope all you guys listening are being productive and happy. You know, doing something to make you happy. Hope you're not crying. Hope you're not looking over at your phone expecting or like waiting for replies of someone, or, you know, being a little depressed person. We're better than this. This is the NMU community. We're just going to be beasts. We're all going to spiral to success together. I think that's what we're going to do here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hi. I'm a bit sick, as you'll be able to tell. What were you talking about?
I was just saying, I just hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone's happy.
Good.
No matter what you're doing. I know a lot of people listening to this podcast could be at the gym, you know, pumping iron. Fucking, I want to see success.
That's an effort if you're pumping iron and listening to somebody just talk.
You never done that?
No.
I listen to podcasts as I train.
No. As I work, I listen to podcasts, but never as I train. I haven't trained in ages, but even when I trained, never.
Yeah. What podcasts do you listen to?
Basement Yard, JRE. Sometimes I'll listen to Bill Burr. Another one with Joe Senegato, which is the OPL podcast, Other People's Lives. And they get everybody on there, bro.
Really?
Like people who have disorders, people with like all these weird kind of sex fetishes.
They get a sex offender on there? That'd be interesting.
I don't know.
I'd love to get like...
I don't know if they have that on there yet. But.
Yeah, you get like a pedophile in here and let's just ask him about why he likes kids. Wouldn't that be a weird thing to talk about? Like,
it would be weird, but it'd be like... I don't know. That's a very...
I'd want to understand it because I always think like, what if pedophilia is... say you're born with it, like just like you're straight or you're gay. I can't help it. I just like kids, right? And that's a shitty thing to be into. You know what I mean? Because, you know... I wonder if there's a lot of pedophiles out there that are pedophiles, but they just can't act on it. You know what I mean? Like they know they've been raised in a good environment and they go, oh no, I can't be a pedophile because I don't want to hurt others. But in the back of their mind lingers the thought of wanting to be one, but they nullify it and suppress it their whole life. And then the guys who are pedophiles are the guys who act on that. So I want the population, and you can't go and tell someone that I'm attracted to kids. They'll be like, oh, fuck you. They'll instantly hate you. You lose all your friends. You lose all your family ties, you know?
If you have that problem and you come out as that, you immediately are viewed as the scum of the scum, which I guess essentially you fucking are.
But what if you can't help it?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it sucks.
You've been dealt the shittest cards of your life. I feel sorry that you feel that way, but like, you're a cunt.
I don't know if that's the case though. So I'd like to come in. I'd like to meet a pedophile and talk about it.
I also feel like some of, I'm definitely not saying all, but some pedophiles, I feel like that, like, because I've heard a bunch of stories, like, whether it be in the news or whatever, but people who have done that stuff have been traumatized by like their dad doing that to them.
So you mean like,
Or
yeah, it's a
like-
recurring thing, like domestic
Yeah, like they
violence
don't
and all
know
that.
any better or something like that. That's how they were raised. They were abused like that. They do it. It's yeah.
And a lot of the time, a pedophile's first, when they're a kid, a pedophile often is preyed upon, and that's their first experience of a sexual act, and then it becomes fetishized in their brain, and then they act it out as the perpetrator when they get older. So they continue a cycle. Like most pedophiles were preyed upon by a pedophile before they do it. So is that a sickness? Is that like a serious trauma that's being covered up? I mean, is that like, is being a pedophile trauma, like coping with trauma from being abused, or is it an actual like born with trait? Is it in your like soul? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like being straight is like being gay
because
is,
they
you
all
know?
come in all shapes and sizes.
Or mostly
like-
white, sweaty men.
Yeah, we're down bad. Like,
Yeah. You don't really
luckily, I'm
see
not
of like, you don't really see many like
Oh, I don't know. I'm not shitting on the Indian culture, but there are some fucking Indian donnies that I've heard that get around that are a bit.
yeah, maybe they just don't get caught. It's always the white guys. They're always like trying to come over for pizza and stuff. You always see that. But you know the weirdest one? When it's like 22-year-olds. It's just like, are you fucking stupid? Like, this is the prime of your life. Girls are in their prime. Guys are in their prime. Everyone's sexy. Like, go get it, bro. Why are you going to why are you going to schools? Like, why?
Is it like?
I didn't get it.
Do people like that
I
take
can't get
pleasure in taking the innocence?
I think that's what it is. And this is
people?
like where the conversation takes the darkest turn. Because then you
Yeah.
start talking about like, they get off on stealing the innocence of a child. Like, what a fucked up like endeavor.
That's like one of the worst things you could like imagine as like having a kid. Like your kid comes home one day and is like, "Oh, I met like someone did this to me," and it's like, "What, can't?"
Yeah, what do you do at that point?
Like
You
you
go
just go,
try and kill him.
"Okay, you're fine." Like,
Right, and you look
Just-
at the
oh.
damage of that can cause. But it's so fucked, man. I'm curious of how many men and women live their lives with this attraction and they don't act out on it.
it'd be hard to like interview someone like that.
But what do you talk about after you're done with it? Do you just talk about cars after that? Like, do you just drop the bomb about how they're a pedophile and, you know, they really like kids and then... So what cars you like
maybe-
Chevrolets?
You know what would be weird?
What?
Well, not even weird. Like, I guess, yeah, it is. If you were to drop that and just talk about regular shit, and if they actually do kind of like just act like a normal person,
They
like,
most
or if you
likely
can like
are.
pick up on traits,
Yeah.
obviously you'd have to like interview a bunch of them to see if they all start acting a certain way. Not to, then you're like just categorizing people, and then other people would be like, "Ooh, I fit in that category. I speak like that."
Yeah, I wonder
could
if
be-
they have a collective offness. You know what I mean? I wonder if you speak to all of them
That's
and
what
they
I'm
all
saying, yeah.
seem not all there. You know, or I wonder if they're really they could be a really charismatic one, and he's just seems like you and me.
That's what
That's
I'm
the
saying,
scariest.
Bro. They come
one.
in all shapes and sizes. Because I was going to be like, I reckon they could be like, majority of them would be introverts. But you hear it all over, like, it's celebrities. It's fucking everyday people.
It's power hungry
fucking-
people,
yeah.
or people who never had power, and then they all of a sudden get it, and they don't know how to control it because they're weak. They're cowards.
Ooh.
Like, what a cowardice thing! Like, of all people in society, you prey on the weakest, most vulnerable. What a coward.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I'd still like to interview them because I feel like you could just pick them apart. Like, you might expose them as the shittiest human being ever, but it'd still be interesting to listen to.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right. Like, it definitely would be interesting to see what they have to say for themselves. Like,
It also might be a bit fucked because if we talk to them for hours as we do, you might humanize them too much. You know what I mean? Because then he talks about his dogs and his cats, and you know
he has
how
a personality,
Yeah.
which he fucking does. But like,
he definitely does. But he also has this side to him, just like a murderer, that's really dark, deep.
That'd also be good to interview as well.
A murderer.
A murderer.
I feel like there's more. Isn't it weird that you said there's probably more humanity in a murderer than there is in a pedophile? Like, murder isn't as bad because sometimes murder's justified. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
But
I
there's
guess on what
never
type of
justification for
murderers there are,
pedophilia.
yeah.
What?
There's no justification for murder.
No, I'm saying there's sometimes justification for murder, but there's never any justification for being a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. So it'd be much easier. Why do you think there's so many interviews with murderers? Because it's digestible for an audience.
Yeah.
What's not digestible is us humanizing and talking to a convicted
Kid
pedophile.
figure,
Or yeah. Like, where do you go with that conversation? How do you start it? What boundaries do you set on the conversation? I think you can't set any. I think you just got to go at him and just ask him whatever you feel like asking.
Yeah, you just got to have questions ready that are on that topic.
And you're putting yourself on blast as the interviewer, as me and you. It would be very stressful because it would be like, what if we go, oh yeah, I get where you're coming from there. You instantly, like, everyone goes, are you a fucking pedophile? You know, it's very risky.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. You can't see where someone's coming from with, like, touching kids or something like that. You can't. Like, although, yeah, there's nothing you can really say that'd be like, that's a valid point.
Yeah. You could go, oh, I never looked. I know, you couldn't say you never looked at it that way. That's fucked. But you could say, like, you could say, I never knew that people like you existed who didn't act on it. He might have said, I lived with this desire for 45 years of my life. And then I realized my midlife crisis was acting out on it. You never know. They might have had the kids of their own. They might have been at kids' birthday parties. Like, these guys existed up until they committed the crimes.
You know,
who are they?
You know, it'd be weird.
What?
Not even weird. It'd be insane if there was a program for that. Like, people who had that thought and they didn't want to act on it because they knew it was wrong. And people would, like, there was like a little kind of,
like, AA meetings for pedos.
Yeah, and they just take them off to Peru and do a fucking like ayahuasca thing. I wonder if that would actually help.
That's an interesting study that could be conducted. But, you know, fuck, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It'd be
freaky. It'd be a weird group to hang out with.
Not only that, like,
imagine the bus trip down. What do they listen to? What songs do they collectively are into? Wiggles, bro? Do they fruit salad? Yummy.
Yuck.
It's just fucked though. Like, that's a whole subculture of just depravity. It is the most outskirts of society. They are the most off the edge. Like, no one likes them. Not a single person would want to hang out.
They've got to be like at least a fat 10% of the dark web. Because you hear all the stories come out of the dark web about, like, kid porn sites.
Yeah, well, there was a young man who was in his, like, low 20s, like maybe like 20, from 20 to 25, I think it was. And he was just arrested, and 2 Thai ladies were arrested because these 2 Thai ladies were abusing kids and sending it to him over the internet, and he was, you know, using it.
Yuck.
Bro, you're in your 20s. Not that it even excuses us later in life, but like, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Excuse, like, fucking, what are you doing? No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. I know it's a shitty defense.
Yeah,
but I can't, like,
you're 22. Just fucking, what are you doing, bro? There's other chicks in their prime. Oh,
it's true. Yeah, like, there's no excuse. You know what's weird? You know what, like, that they would feel, right? You know when, like, you're in primary school and you have a crush on another girl in primary school?
Are they stuck with that?
Yeah, what if they just kept getting older and they go, oh, I like the girls in year 5 more. And, like, you're just realizing this as you're growing up. You're not liking the girls as they mature. You're just like, yeah, I like going down to the primary school canteen. You know what I mean? Like, weird stuff like that. How does it manifest as a young man? Like, are you just hanging out with kids more? Like, it's really fucked. This conversation is fucked. Like, it's very, it's like, I hate talking about it, but it makes me want to talk about it more. The fact that it's so risque.
Bro.
It needs to be spoken about.
We can cut this if we want.
No, we keep.
No, this part I was going to say. But it's almost like when we say, no, I don't even want to associate that with, like, pedophilia, but it's like when we were doing the other day, or whenever the fuck we were doing it, when we were checking out the chicks, like, who were the chicks at school? We're just going and looking at their photos.
Yeah,
it's
like, who are they now?
It's like, she looked like, I swear she was hotter in, like, year 5 or shit like that.
Yeah, like everyone had a crush on her in year 5, but no one had a crush on her now. Stuff like that. Yeah. That's really weird. Isn't that weird to get into that? You know what I mean? Like, Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
That's why I was like, it's so sus. Because
Yeah.
please, we're not bad people. We don't do these disgusting things.
But like, you could easily criticize us on this conversation, but the fact we're having the conversation, if you were to criticize us of having this conversation, put yourself in this situation, sit in this room with us, and what would you be saying? Would you be saying, I don't want to talk about this because you just can't talk about it? You have to talk about these things.
Keyboard warriors, bro.
Not even if it's, it could be, I don't think many people are keyboard warriors like that will be listening to this. I'm pretty,
No way, it's all fucking mates.
it's all our mates. But eventually, maybe if these people come back to this later, say we get successful, you could easily criticize us of having this conversation. But I would ask before you criticize, answer the questions yourself and see how you would answer it. And first of all, record yourself and listen back to it. How do you sound? Because what we have to do is we have to think about it and go, how is everyone else going to think about this? And then we have to fucking say it properly. We can't slip up.
Because people can just be like, why would you even think about talking to someone that's a pedophile, yada yada.
Why not? Yeah.
First problem, like, what am I even saying? The first thing to finding a bloody solution to the problem is actually looking at the problem and not just saying there's a problem, which is basically what this is right now. People are just waiting for the problem to happen to lock them up.
Yeah.
Because there's no outsource for those people.
You know, we could talk to the guy and say, or girl, and we could say, like, you know, how was your childhood? What do you think led you to acting out on it? What went wrong? And you say, oh, when I was a kid, my parents didn't educate me well. I was neglected. I was from a low socioeconomic area, and therefore I didn't have much going for me. I didn't have a good education. I didn't have a good understanding of what was going in my head, and that resulted in me in having a lack of understanding and doing these things. I knew they were wrong, but I thought I had no other hope. You know what I mean? Like, they could be in such a dark spot, and this is not making light of what they do, but I think from understanding their sequences of events that are common that result in this happening, you could then put education programs and systems in place in schools and with children as they're developed to protect them, which already happens.
Yeah.
But I think as you said, the way to solve the problem is to look at the problem and figure out why this problem exists.
Yeah.
And a massive part of that is actually talking to the people who would do the offenses. Like Louis Theroux, he went into a massive hospital or like a home full of pedophiles, and he humanized them. He copped criticism for humanizing them because he showed that they actually are real people. They have emotions there, but they're also a bit fucking.
They're twisted.
They're a bit twisted. They're a bit skewed, and it's super interesting documentary.
Yeah. Two things I want to say.
Yeah.
First thing is, not that anybody will fucking remember or even care, but you know when I was talking about the whole Logic album and how like the God, like in that whole afterlife kind of thing, it wasn't on The Incredible True Story. It was on everybody. Although The Incredible True Story is also another banging concept album, it's on all the afterlife shit is on everybody. It's a good listen. Second thing, I can't remember which Asian country it is. I think it's like China or Japan. Might not even be them, but I'm pretty sure it's one of those two. The way they deal with like sex offenders and like pedophiles and shit is that they lock them up and then I'm not even sure if they lock them up, but they give them a sex doll.
What, a child sex doll or a sex doll?
I can't remember exactly, but a sex doll.
That's not helping the solution.
I know.
That I feel like that would fester it, because what happens, a very common thing with pornography.
I want the real fucking thing.
Exactly. A very common thing with pornography is you desensitize yourself and you always want more. Why do you think fetishes go deeper and deeper and deeper? No one just likes like full leather masks. You sort of get over the previous shit. Yeah. You know, like that's why like porn becomes so like you start off like me for instance. I just liked boobs at the start of it.
Yeah.
And then I get over boobs and I just go deeper and deeper and deeper. And then that's what I feel like what would happen to them. They get the doll. They're no longer satisfied with the doll. They have then built up a foundation of all these thoughts in their heads, and then they know exactly how to act out on it. That seems super destructive. I hate that. I hate that. That's the worst fucking
instantly,
thing.
like when I heard it, I was like, that is so. It's just like backwards. Because you're giving someone something and like they're just building it up in their head, and then sometime the bottle's going to explode and they're going to fucking go touch someone up.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be satisfied with a piece of plastic if you were that way inclined.
Some emotionless fucking thing.
So they don't lock them up though. Well, they do.
They might. You know what? Let me fucking. I can't, you know, no. I ain't even going to do your own research.
Don't take what we say seriously.
Yeah, bro. It's
Don't.
like 80% true. Like some of the shit we. It's 80% opinions. That's what it is.
I was thinking about this in the car. It's like I was thinking about like what we would call our podcast. Someone goes, because we always struggle. Like I always get asked, "What do you guys even talk about?" And it's just like we talk about whatever, like
We talk
nothing,
about anything. Yeah.
anything. It's just ideas. We sit here. Like I've been asked this many times. Before you come in, do you like write things down?
Do you
have you
have
got something
dot
in
points
mind
of
to talk
what-
about?
yeah.
No, we just sit down and we just talk. And it's so pure. I love it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking like what we could call it. I think we could call it existentialist comedy. You know, we are thinking about existential ideas. We run it down, and that's entertaining. And then there's a bit of laughs along the way.
Well, that's the name of our podcast.
No, I think like
Oh.
if we were to categorize, because I have to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I was adding it to Spotify and adding it to YouTube, they also asked for tags and what is your category? And I put comedy, I put entertainment, I put society and community, and I was like, fuck. But then I feel like it didn't really nail what our thing is. I think ours is like, it's I also put philosophy because I feel like we talk deep ideas, you know what I mean? Existential philosophy / comedy. That's what I think we would call out, because we're always talking about hypotheticals, we're always talking about running things down into the ground, into the depths. We really go into the detail with a lot of shit.
Yeah. Quickly, was talking to a mate last night. CBD products. They're now available online.
Yeah.
And he is starting to notice a difference, like a bit more relaxed and whatnot. He
During
says
it
it's
or throughout his
like
life?
just throughout like the day and
Okay.
whatnot. He's only had it for like a couple of days, but he says he's like noticing a difference, like a lot, like better, for the better. I'm gonna cop some.
I reckon I'll cop some.
I'll cop some.
It's just good for
definitely.
you. Anti-inflammatory. It's good.
So, yeah, just look up online, I guess, CBD products, and you should be able to get them.
And you can't, I think you can get them in chemists yet because they've got to be approved
yet.
by like some board of that can release in chemists. It can take like 6 months back when it was released. So I don't know how long it will take now, but
Yeah.
what? So you can definitely get it online. Well,
Yeah, you just got to
obviously
fill
have
out an
seen it, yeah.
application. Like, it's like about as long as takes to fill out one of those real estate forms
Oh,
for
really?
the houses.
Yeah, like a application form.
Yeah.
Oh, that's chill. I'll get one then.
Yeah, and it's just like, what do you need it for? Like,
Chronic back pain.
yeah, it's legit got like pains, aches, like insomnia, anxiety, depression, a bunch
Just
of
chuck
shit.
anything down.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You know what that is? I love it. I'm loving to see it. It's the slow legalization of cannabis products. So nice to see. It's been too long. It's too fucking long.
Yeah, bro.
I reckon if you were to predict how long until it's legal,
How long till it's legal?
until they legalize.
I'd like to imagine the next 5 years.
Yeah, I think that's a good ballpark.
But something tells me it might be 10. Not exactly 10, but
10.
like
It's way
within
too
the
long.
next 10.
Fuck that. That's way too
No.
long.
But it's
I
like
want within the
Australia.
next
I feel
two,
like
bro.
Australia's just going to fucking wank around with it.
What?
I feel like Australia's just going to fucking wank around with it.
No, I think we're too progressive. I think our society is too progressive. And all the conservative cunts are all fucking... Like a lot of the houso conservatives are punching cones anyway. Like weed is just across the board accepted by all political parties. I don't know why
Literally,
it's
yeah.
being held up.
I don't know.
All political. Look at me just saying statements. Weed is it's cool between all political. I don't know a fucking thing. All right, so
Yeah.
don't worry about that.
Oh, well, here's what it is.
It is what it is.
You know, I was thinking to myself the other day,
Yeah.
Do you know what star sign you are?
Yeah, Virgo.
Virgo.
I'm a female.
I can almost guarantee if you ask anyone that's like listening to this podcast or anyone in general what their star sign is, they'll probably tell you straight off the bat, no hesitation.
Everyone knows.
It's like, it's mine. And you go, do you believe in any of that?
What?
Do you believe in it?
No.
Like
no,
the shit in it?
No.
Then why do we not?
Because my mum is obsessed with it. My mum always says shit like,
Bro,
"Oh, you're such a
him.
What?
I hate him, bro.
Bro, my mum will say, like, I'll do something in particular, and she go, "Oh, it's because you're a Virgo, very compassionate, very helping, very warm," and I'm just like, "Fuck off," you know, like you know what? In every single star sign, there's a bunch of really positive attributes that anyone would say, "Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
They've
Of
just
course, you're
taken, like-
compassionate. Every cunt thinks they're
They've just
compassionate."
dissected personalities and just assigned them to a certain part of the year. That's all it is.
But also like, oh, you're very, this guy, Leo's very loyal. Oh, very loyal. Every guy goes, I'm fucking loyal. I'm fucking
you know what,
loyal.
that makes sense. I
That
believe
makes sense.
Yeah. And then they read something they don't like that might sound a bit soft or something.
I'm like, well, I moved past that. I used to be that. Like, you know, like every person. Oh, you get jealous sometimes. Who doesn't get jealous? Everyone gets jealous a little bit, you know, or a lot. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it.
Just, yeah, so weird. Like, majority of people would know their star sign and be like, I don't believe that shit at all. But
Yeah.
I feel like they just, when somebody tells them what a fucking thing is, like what their thing means, they
Yeah.
just have a little slight wank to themselves. I am that. Yes, that's why I know my star sign.
I have looked it up and I read all the shit about it. And I'm just like, yeah, that is me. But you read all of them. They're all me. They all in some way relate to me. They're very broad.
They're so fucking broad.
But
Fuck your ass.
prediction? We didn't even explain this on the podcast. It was the one that we lost.
Fuck your ass.
He had a horoscope that played out exactly, and it was with me. Did I
Wait,
explain
what?
this to you?
No.
All right.
Oh, was it one of the like weekly or monthly like?
No.
This is what's gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
like, this is what's
It was in a magazine, right? And his mum found it. So let me like preface the story of what happened. So we were out clubbing, and
Fuck your ass.
didn't want to go clubbing, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna be with you then, because he just didn't feel like coming out. So I said, all right, because you never get what you want, because you're not like a very authoritative, and you're not like a very pushy person, you just go with the flow. Because I am an authoritative person, I'm a very headstrong, we're doing it my way type of person, and that's, for whatever reason, the group is forged by that. Like, you do whatever the fuck you want, therefore a bunch of people will just follow whatever you do. I do whatever I want, and there's a bunch of like very there's personalities if you're a follower or you're the leader, and there's a lot of like leadership characteristics that we have in our group, and there's some following characteristics, and I
Fuck your
follows
ass.
more than he leads, and I lead more than I follow. So I said, I'm going to empower you and follow you tonight, so you can express yourself and break through any anxieties you had of the night. And he had anxieties of going into clubs because he doesn't like going into clubs. And I said, I bet if I empower you to do whatever you want tonight. What?
We're gonna have to cut this now.
Oh.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I can't talk about this, hey. But it's a good story. I'll ask his permission before we put it out. I'll explain to him what I say. But anyway, so
Fuck your ass.
express. I shouldn't have said his name. I should have just said something. I should have said my mate. I always drop in names. It's so stupid because we have to like go through it and bleep it. But
Fuck your ass.
so I'll just so we don't have to do it. I'll just say my mate from now. Yeah. So me and we'll just call him Jerry.
Jerry.
So me, no, so me and Jerry are going
Clubbing.
going clubbing, and he didn't want to go in clubbing, and I was like, you know what? We don't have to go clubbing because I'm with you, and no one's going to question you not going clubbing if I don't go clubbing, because that's just how our group works. And people would be like, fuck off,
Fuck
we're
your
going
ass.
clubbing, and he would just go clubbing. But if for whatever reason, if I say no, we're not going clubbing, we're just fucking off somewhere, No one will argue. So, all right, we'll just go clubbing without you. Or they'll just come follow us. And so me and Jerry, we get to this point, and he was getting really worked up. And there was, to our right, there was clubbing. To our left, there was a group of beautiful girls walking past. And I said to him, the choice is yours, bro. I'm with you tonight. We can either go clubbing, which is not what you want to do. And I'm not telling you have to do that. I want you to do whatever you want, because then eventually you're going to force yourself to face your fear. Later in the night, he eventually went clubbing, and he really enjoyed it because he got to go clubbing on his terms. He decided for himself to go clubbing rather than being dragged into it. So he was allowed to create strength. He was allowed to prepare himself mentally to face his fear rather than being attacked by his fear. Like he's being dragged in to the depths of his fear. But then later at the night, through me just doing whatever he wanted to do, I was never going to force him to do anything. I was doing exactly whatever he wanted to do. And eventually he said, fuck it, I want to go clubbing. And he approached that like a warrior, and he fucking killed it. And I was so proud. And by the end of the night, we were all getting tired because the line was taking so long, and he was the last one in the line because he was keen to go clubbing. And just in case you don't know, this guy does not like going clubbing. He's not the clubbing type. And he, as far as I know, he had a pretty good time. So anyway, we're at this intersection before, and I'm looking to my right, and I said we can go clubbing or we can follow this group of girls, and we just ask if we can hang out with them. That's all we were going to do. And he goes, I don't know, bro. What do you want to do? And I said, I'm doing whatever you want to do. And he looks at me and he says, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go left. Let's just follow them. So by the time of all this, the girls had disappeared, but the girls didn't matter. What mattered was the decision for him to choose what he wanted to do. So we just went and walked, and we're having this mad conversation, walking in a park, and we sit down, and I was saying like, bro, your anxiety is nothing. And we were talking about how, you know, through doing things like this, it's helping him with his anxiety. And, you know, he can, through the support of his friends, understanding his struggle and us empowering him, going, what do you want to do? And making him face his fear rather than us pulling him into his fear. It's going to help him flourish as a person and be a better, he will be able to fulfill his dream better now. So we're saying like, and he said like, and I said to him, this will make you a more successful person. This is going to like help you in the long run. Like I think you'll look back on this day as really important. And he said to me, he goes, do you want me to freak you out? He said, yeah. And he said, on Saturday morning, I woke up from sleep and I had a dream, and the dream was there was a bear in front of my bed standing on its hind legs playing with a beach ball. It's a friendly bear.
Keep talking.
And he said, I woke up and I spoke to my mom, and my mom started looking it up, and the horoscope was, no joke, a brown bear at the end of the bed playing with a beach ball. That was one of the horoscopes for that.
Was it that one of the horoscopes, or did that mean something?
It was one of the, no, yeah, it was like, if you had this dream, this was going to happen.
Oh, shit.
It's that deep. It was that full on. If you had
that.
this specific dream, a brown bear at the end of your bed playing with a beach ball.
Oh, I thought that was just across the board, like if you had this dream.
No.
Yeah, right.
So his mum looks that up, goes into like the itinerary of like lining all the shit up, and it said, one of the horoscopes was, if you had this dream and you wake up on a Saturday, that night you are going to meet someone to help change your life for the better and help you achieve success in all aspects. And that was me helping him because I empowered him to push past his anxiety. Freaked me out. I lost my shit. I was like, what? When does that shit ever happen? It was very spooky. The whole night had a sense of just superstition about it. It was a very strange night.
Simulation, bro.
Yeah, it scared me. I was like, that's spooky. That's scary. And I just love that. Like, I feel like that's an important thing. If you're like, you know, if you're listening to this and you have a friend and you have friends, take note of little things in your group. This is what I always take note of in all my friendship groups, no matter where I am. I just always am thinking about this. It's what is my role in the group? Who follows me? Who do I follow? and what is the sequence of events when people move from area to area. So like if you're at a party with like just your close friends and there's an outside and an inside, say one of your friends goes outside, who's the second person to go outside? Who's the third person to go outside? And who's the last person still sitting inside by themselves? And often you'll see that the last person sitting inside by themselves is the most stubborn, and it's the person who is the most individual or the person most different in the group. And it's very interesting. So then a person, and they observe more. What I've noticed is a person at the end who sits in there last observes more than they contribute. So as a person like myself, who is always the first person to move or the second person to move, I've witnessed that about myself. I then fuck up the sequence of events of the group and force us to do something different. We move, because like, I always think like, if these events play out continuously, like they obviously change a little bit, but these same sequence of events and these patterns happen within groups all the time. And that results in the same night in a way. There's a bunch of outcomes of those sequences that result in experiences. And I feel like sometimes it gets a bit stale and you're not really learning things about other people. So what I'll do is, instead of being the first person to move, I won't move until the last person moves. And that changes the whole night. It changes the power that an individual has to change the whole night is crazy. So I'll sit with the guy who doesn't move and they'll move before me, and then therefore I'll see their night change. It's very interesting stuff. So that's what I did with my friend. So if you notice that you'll have follower friends in your group and you're a person who is a leader in the group and you are the one making decisions of where to go, you're the one directing, like when you walk in a direction and people start following you to go somewhere, say you're on a night out and you're like, which way are we going? And you just start walking and people follow you. I'm not sure if that's a thing that our group only does, but there's a bunch of boys in our group. When we are just clueless, someone will just start walking in direction because they're confident in their position as a leader in the group. So people will just follow him, and it just creates, we get stagnant and then we move on from that. So if you are one of those people who just make the decisions without making a big deal about it, witness someone who's following and just ask what they want to do and empower them to make the decisions for the night. And if they don't want to do what you want to do, you sacrifice yourself for them and help them push past. Because the best thing you can do for someone who's struggling, especially, for example, not wanting to go into a club, the best thing you can do is not make them go into a club, but then eventually they will go into a club because the pressure of doing it is no longer there. And bro, I've thought about this so much, and it's a constant thing that comes up. These patterns in groups are a massive thing.
Yeah, and if you're a talker, observe. You start hearing a lot more things.
That's so right. And you know, I'm gonna go in depth here, and I'm gonna reveal a part of my personality right now.
Okay, reveal it.
Right. So when I smoke weed, right, I change personalities, and it freaks people out.
You change personality.
I realized this just today.
No, you didn't even know you're doing it.
No, I realized it just today.
So yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You didn't.
I realized I was doing it, but I never had a clear mind of understanding. Let me take a piss and I'll come back. Hold on. You entertain the group because.
Me entertain the group. Well, you've already done the checkup for me. Now I'm on fucking video. Oh. There's some entertainment for you. The life. What brand of phone do you have? Just double check right now. Look at it. You might even be watching it on your phone right now. Or listening. Whatever you're doing. If you have Android, you got a small belly button. That's what you got. You got iPhone. You got small eyelashes.
What are you saying?
No.
Alright.
Just keep that in mind.
Nice. Keep that in mind.
They're gonna be like, "You're so shit, cunt."
Alright. So what I was saying is, when I smoke, I become a completely different person. So with what I've understood about groups, I've been able to bring that to myself. So I am a person who's always, I feel like there's two types of people in a group. There's the observers and then there's the actors. And when I'm sober or when I'm drunk, I always am the actor. I'm not watching anyone. Like, for example, I go to a restaurant. My whole attention is on whoever I'm with and whoever I'm talking to and my own actions. I'm focusing on what I can do to make the night good, what I can do to be funny, and I'm focusing on what you're doing so I can play off on it.
Yeah.
And I'm not listening to, I'm focusing more on what I'm going to say than what you guys are saying. And that's what makes me be able to play, like, to be quick, because I'm not actually listening to you as much as I should be.
Yeah.
I hear a little bit of what you're saying, and then I fucking try and say something funny or do something funny, which is why I talk so much, which is why I can do this podcast, which is why I always go, fuck yeah, I talk too much. But I'm coming to the realization through doing this podcast and through observing myself when I smoke and when I'm sober, I'm realizing attributes about myself that I never even knew about. So when I'm sober, when I'm drunk, I'm always involved, I'm always doing shit. And then when I smoke, my whole vibe changes and I become the guy who's observing. If I'm comfortable, you know what I mean? So one time our mate Matt, I was smoking and I sit down in a chair and he says to me, your vibes changed completely, because I was just sitting there smiling and just listening to everyone. That's something I never do. I can never sit in a group of my friends and not say a word for more than about 5 minutes, because I always have to be part of it. And I was sitting there and he goes, bro, your whole vibe's changed. Like, you're a different person right now. Your whole personality's changed. And for whatever reason, that drew up a bunch of anxiety in me. And I got really scared. I got really nervous. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And he's like, I don't know, your whole vibe's changed. And I said, you're wigging me out. Like, what do you mean by this? And he goes, and he just kept looking at me to observe. He was observing me, and it made me really insecure because I wasn't comfortable with not speaking. When I get really romped, I won't speak, and I'll think that's really weird, because I think if I'm not speaking, people are going to think I'm different. People are going to think I'm weird. But I've realized there's a whole bunch of people in this world who don't speak a lot. They don't need to speak. They're just quiet on a night out. I am not that at all. So I'll be sitting somewhere and I'll be just vibing. My whole vibe has changed and I'm not speaking to anyone around me. And then they'll say something to me. You haven't spoken in a while. You all right? Or your vibe's changed completely. And that will strike a bit of anxiety. Like, why? Like, people are going to think I'm weird. People think I'm different. Why aren't I being myself? Far out. And then I'll just string myself with a bunch of negative thoughts that will drag me down and make my night terrible. And I just had a realization, like, it's okay to be different when I do this. It's okay to be the observer sometimes, then be the guy action. Because one thing I notice is when I do smoke, I am the observer and I'm not part of... Of course, sometimes you do some funny things and sometimes you're an actor, but most of the time I'm an observer. So, for instance, I'll be sitting somewhere and I'll be paying just as much attention to listening to the group next to me, like another group of people at a restaurant. I'll be listening to their conversation just as much as I'm listening to our friend's conversation.
Yeah.
I'll be watching people enter and leaving, and I'll be watching the little relationships around me. I love watching people's friendships of strangers. Seeing people high five and hug, and then see how their dynamics work with other people in the room. So, for whatever reason, I've just discovered that I change from the actor to the observer. I become one of the last to leave the room when I smoke. And it's really weird for me. And it used to create anxiety because I felt like if I'm not acting, I'm no longer being me. Because me is a person who acts, and I'm the person that's being funny. And if I'm not fulfilling that and people are saying I'm different, Harry, you're weird, I'm no longer me, and that makes me insecure. And therefore, I feel like I'm not fulfilling myself as a group, and I feel like my friends won't like me as much. And that's where I get really anxiety. I go, why aren't I being myself? Why do they think I'm so different? I'm not comfortable with being different. But why wasn't I comfortable with being different? So then when I just recently, I've become aware of this. So when I smoke, I sit there, I don't speak, and I say, this is good. And someone says, like last night, one of the boys said, your vibe's completely different. You're quiet, like you're so much different. I said, yeah, man, I know. This is how I go when I smoke. And he said, oh, that's interesting, hey. And I was like, yeah, it is. And that was all. I was comfortable with being different, and I did not care that people were witnessing me being different, because I knew that my friends support me, and it doesn't matter how I act. They know who I am. It doesn't matter what I'm acting like in that certain time.
Yeah. When we smoked last, like when we went away, I think I was a bit different in the sense that I was like more talkative.
I
Like
noticed
I was
that.
open to conversation, because usually when I smoke, I'll instantly find a safe haven, which is this. For those that are listening, my phone. I'll just go on my YouTube and just start watching fucking videos.
Why?
Because it's like all my attention is drawn to that. I don't have to worry about like any anxious thoughts. And as soon as I'm channeled into that, it's like everything is just, it's like a two-way street. Me putting my effort into watching that video, and then just receiving that information. It's like, okay, I'm watching this,
Clear,
and then I'm just
crisp.
listening. Yeah,
crisp thoughts.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the weekend, it was good because I thought I was gonna relapse, like back into fucking getting anxious and shit again. I wasn't at all.
That's nice.
I was pretty happy. I was like, fuck, this is good. Like,
You could just enjoy yourself.
yeah, I was like laughing and shit, and yeah, it was really good. But yeah, I don't think I haven't really even noticed that about you.
What about me?
You going quiet.
You notice it now.
Hmm.
Well, you notice it now because,
Yeah, we've talked about it. We've
Yeah,
we've
but-
established it.
but also, I would, now that I've noticed it, I would be, like, say I'd smoke and I would realize that I'm being quiet, I would force myself subconsciously to do things because I felt uncomfortable with not doing anything. So then I'd make myself, because it's just my functioning mind. I have a very fast functioning mind. And if I'm doing something different and I'm not functioning, I feel like I'm doing something wrong when I'm not.
Well, I probably haven't even noticed because I'm also quiet when I fucking smoke. Because I'm just there, either on my phone or just about to pass out. Yeah, that's probably why. And the only time I'll ever fucking talk to you is when you either come up to me with a video and you're like, check this shit out, or I'll do the same. And some 10-second wank video of just some.
Yeah. Well, yeah, well, I know that I've conquered a massive part of myself that made me anxious when I'd smoke. And now I enjoy it so much more, which is part of like why people who smoke more like it more, because they actually understand all the little hazards and trip falls, and you learn so much about yourself. And I've learned that about myself, which is such a deep thought. Like, how did I even get that understanding? I don't know. But so now, beforehand, I would walk into a building when I was a bit romped, and I'd be filled with anxiety of, this is like, how am I even going to exist in this? Because I feel like a different person. The way I speak, I'm more calm. I'm more relaxed. I speak less when I'm asked a question. When I speak to a a cashier, I'll freak out. Like, what am I gonna say? But now, I am comfortable with being different. So I'll just, I don't know why. It's a pressure released off me. So I have no pressure to act a certain way. I don't care if they think I am, but the only reason they would ever know that I'm blazed is if I look anxious. And if I'm just calm, they just think I'm a guy. They don't know my personality. They don't know that I'm acting different. They just know that this is just how this guy acts, and it's not obvious that I am acting different. Only people that know me would notice.
Yeah, right. We can cut it if you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But you know how you went into that fucking, where you were basically dead
Oh, yeah.
down the coast?
Yeah.
You were right with that?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Do you reckon like that could have been like why now you've just realised it?
Perhaps. But
Like, I don't know who the fuck I am. Like, because you've been like so anxious about, oh, I'm a different person when I'm like fucking high.
let me think about it. Because I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I've been thinking about that particular moment, which if I'd explain it right. So what happened was we'd smoked and I smoked a lot, well, too much, but I didn't know it was too much at the time. And we go down to
never do.
we go down to a wharf and I'm sitting there and then I just lost myself I just forgot where I was. And I was sitting there and everything became two-dimensional. Everything was just like at my eyes and I couldn't process anything. I didn't recognize anything. I only recognized my friends' faces. So Tom was looking at me like this. Tom was looking at me like, oh, he's greening out. He's greening out. But I wasn't greening out. I was perfect. I was not sick at all.
Yeah,
I
right.
was just insane. I legit went insane. And I was sitting there and I was just scared. I didn't know where I was. I was just like, it's like the equivalent of being blackout drunk, but it's so much different. Like it's like blackout drunk. You know, like how bad being blackout drunk is, and you just can't control yourself, but you're just behind the wheel. It's like that. Like
But
it's like that bad. It's like no one ever wants to be at that point,
Yeah.
but you learn a lot from it. You know what I mean? You learn like, fuck, that's what is in me. Let's not do that again.
Yeah.
And that's what it was like that. I don't really want to be like that again ever because it was
Yeah, no
really
way.
scary.
Yeah, it was fucking scary for fucking me, bro. Because people are just like, he's greening out. Oh, he's
Do you
greening
not?
out.
Do you see
I
something different?
instantly looked at you and I went, you're not greening out. You're completely fucked. Like, you look scared. I could see you were lost in your head. You're just like, I was like, can't. They're all like, who's greening out? I was getting fucking like that sick stomach in my feeling. I'm
Yeah.
like, are you fucked, bro?
Yeah, I was just like, I legit thought, am I coming back from this? Like, you can't even explain, unless you've been there, you can't explain what it was. But it was like, if I was to try and express the feeling of where I went, it's like I just left. It's like I just blacked out, and then I remember I'm sitting there, and I just am sitting there, and I just hear someone say, "Oh, he's greening out. How's greening out?" And I don't know how long I was gone for before someone said that. There's a spot where I've just blacked out, and I just went in my head, and it's like my brain just shut off. You know what I mean? It's just like, and then I came back and I hear someone saying, Harry's greening out, man. Harry's greening out. And I look at them and they just keep saying, Harry's greening out. Harry's greening out. And I'm sitting there and I can't speak to anyone because I'm trying to compute what's happening in my brain while this world is happening around me. And then all the boys, one by one, start saying, yeah, Harry's greening out. Harry's greening out. Then I see Tom going, Harry's greening out. He's so fucked. And then Gus go, bro, you're fucked. Like, are you okay? Like, you look like you're gone. Like, are you fucked? And I'm just like, and I just kept saying like, can you guys stop saying I'm greening out? Because I'm not greening out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain to you that and I say, I'm not greening out. I'm just crazy right now. I just can't.
Bro, yeah, that's why when you kept saying, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm like, that's why I care. I didn't care how you felt when I was like, no, you're not okay.
Yeah, but
I know something's wrong, bro. You gotta tell me.
You know, like,
and then you're just like,
you know what it was? Maybe it's because I went so deep into the observer, I just didn't even act at all,
Yeah.
right? So I was sitting there and I was saying everyone's greening out, and them saying, "Yo, you're greening out," made me feel worse because what happens is if you're in that state of mind and you're like not having a good time and you're like freaking out, everyone's eyes on you, the attention on you multiplies it. So I legit saw with this 2D vision, I see everyone's face staring at me and they just keep saying, you're greening out, you're greening out. It's just like a chant. Everyone's pushing, it's like energy. Everyone's staring at me. Like, I felt like I was cornered, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm fine, because I wanted the energy away from me. I wanted to sort this out by myself because I couldn't handle everyone staring at me. So I say, I'm fine. And you obviously saw through that because that's, best mate. You see different shit.
Yeah.
And then I just get up and I didn't know where the fuck I was going, but I just started walking up to the house. It's just like, it's so crazy that like my subconscious mind still knows what's going on. It took care of me when it's just like my self, like my soul went on a journey, but my meat body and like my primal senses still knew what to do.
Just like, all right, let's get.
So I got up and I'm like, oh, like when I'm fucking walking up the stairs, and I start walking up the stairs, and I feel anxious even telling the story because it's being recorded, and I hate that I feel this way. I hate that there's this feeling that I can't express myself freely because there's a value to it, and I feel like this makes weed sounds so bad, but it's just, it was my mindset, and it was a valuable lesson at the end of the day. But, so I start walking up the stairs, and I'm just pumping up the stairs. It was like tons of stairs to go up off the side of this hill. And then I get in there and I go into the bathroom because I was just like, I just need to get away from everyone. I need to go in somewhere by myself. And then I'm sitting on the toilet, and I need to shit. And I tried to shit, but I felt like my whole like soul was shitting. I couldn't feel like where I was shitting. I just couldn't. It like felt really strange. And I was just dealing with the fact that I felt like my life was so thin. I felt like, is this all my life will be? Is the life of, like I said, I just kept feeling like I am Harry Stretton. And Harry Stretton is friends with Angus Munro, Tom McGlynn, and Chris Howie, etc. And they are my friends, and I'll be friends with them for my whole life, and I will die, and this is my life, and it only goes for 80 odd years, and that's it. And you die, and nothing, and that's just your role in the universe. And then you'll probably, there's a bunch of different roles in the universe that I might fulfill in another life, but this is, as far as I know, this is my life, and this is all that it is. And I was filled with knowledge greater than myself, and I like evolved out of understanding my own life. Like, I explained like, what is it like for an ant to understand a human? It's like I evolved out of my human understanding. I was above my human understanding. And it sounds so egotistical to say this, like I evolved out of my human understanding. And I hope it doesn't come off like that, because I'm trying to be as sincere and proper to explain this. I don't want to be arrogant. I don't like thinking more of myself. I try and put myself down so I don't allow myself to do this.
We know you're not being a fucking
all right. And this is just my perspective. It might not be true. I don't know. But it was true to me in the moment. And I explained that like an ant can't understand what a human does day to day. They don't understand what work is. They don't understand how a factory works. They just understand ant things. And I felt like a human, with all my knowledge of what a human is, being shrunken down and brought into the ant nest. And I felt like, what is the point of even being an ant? Like I felt like I was a human trying to live the life of an ant, and I would have found no satisfaction. Well, like the analogy, the metaphor of what that means. So like, say an alien who has infinite knowledge, or a god that has infinite knowledge, lives the life as a human and has all this knowledge and does not feel satisfied from the limitations of their singular life. They realize that there is a whole bunch of things that they know that they cannot fulfill within this singular life. And that's how I felt. I felt my life was thin, and I had the ability to live such a thick life, but I was restrained by this body, by this life of Harry Stretton. And I was sitting on the toilet, not understanding what my purpose of life is. And I was freaking out. And then I'd sit there on the toilet, and I'd be staring into the ground, and then I'd disappear out of my body. Like, not like physically, I wouldn't feel myself leave, but my eyes would glaze over and my imagination would take over. Yeah. And I would just see a different life that I'm living. And I was like a slug person or something, right? Like something completely strange. And this just kept happening. And then I'd go, oh, I'd realize what was happening. And I go, oh, I'm Harry Stratton. I'm here. Yes, please. I was like, I'm here. I'd be sitting on the toilet, and I'm like, no, I'm Harry Stratton. I'm here. And then I would go off again. And then I'd be like, no, I'm Harry Stratton. I'm here. And it just and that was just my ride, just coming down. I'd go on more intense journeys down to the less intense journeys. And then eventually I was okay. Yeah. And then I sat there and I was like, I am so lucky. Imagine if I was that for the rest of my life. Is that what being schizophrenic is? Is that what being mentally insane is? Is being mentally insane being so far out of the box of what we call reality that you can no longer exist in reality. Yeah. You can no longer exist in the anthill because you are so above it. And that's how I felt. Like, I was just like, I'm so glad to be dumb. Yeah. I'm so glad to be a silly little human, because I cannot fulfill the role of a god in this human body. I do not want to be a god.
Yeah.
And I had past thought being a god would be cool, but I can't be a god. Being a god would be shit in this stage of my life. Being a god, I cannot be a god in the material world, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that. I was just like, man, it'd be cool to be a god. I want knowledge. Like, bro, I'm coming to terms with things. I'm drawing connections to things right now. I would think in my head, I want knowledge. I want infinite knowledge. I want to know the knowledge of everything because I'm addicted to knowing things. And that showed me that you don't want to know everything.
Yeah.
And it humbled me so much. And that's a valuable lesson. And that's what it can teach you.
Yeah, that's actually, a really good point.
I didn't want
You
to. I
don't
wanted to
wanna
know
know
everything,
everything.
but I didn't. I didn't want to know everything. Like we're talking about the afterlife. If you die and you learned everything, would you want to come back? Could you even come back?
Being a god would be so fucking hard. Like, sure, you have unlimited power, but like making all the little intricate things work.
Yeah. So what was the basis of the point that you asked me? Because I went on that tangent and there was something to wrap around at the end.
It was basically,
Do you think that was because?
yeah. Do you reckon that because I know with when I tripped out hard down
Yep.
the rumor,
Yeah.
it didn't like my anxieties didn't happen until weeks, months after
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
then it was just like all in one pool where it just started to go, oh, what the fuck, from like a couple months ago. So do you reckon that might have been what happened? Like those anxious thoughts of people saying, "Oh, you're different." Like kind of just you realize that, I don't know, now, like, or
I realized that last night.
yeah, last night, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh,
Because I thought what happens with me when I get I notice, like, you notice things when you get like really high. When I get really high, a person it sounds so like this is legit magic, and I can't explain it. It's legit magic to me. When I get super high, one of my friends becomes an evil entity for me, but it's not really them. It's just I project all my
Every single
negativity.
time?
What?
every single time.
Every time I get too high,
too
an
high.
individual in our group, it's a different person usually every time, becomes my anxieties trying to drag me down. It's been Chris, it was Matt when he asked me, bro, your vibe's changed. But it's not him who's being the bad guy. It's myself. I got to look within myself and figure out, why am I feeling so anxious? And Matt was saying, why are you feeling so anxious? But I thought that Matt was trying to make me feel shit because he kept staring at me. He kept
Yeah.
trying to. I said I didn't want to be observed.
Yeah, you felt like he was like attacking you, not like helping you,
Yeah.
or like trying
I
to
felt
figure
like he
you
was being
out.
malicious.
Yeah.
But he was just being himself, and I was reacting out of anxiety, pure anxiety, and that's what made me look at that. Like, who am I to say that? What are you doing this to me? You know what I mean? Like, fuck, that made no sense. Who am I to say, why do you keep staring at me? Why are you making me feel this way? When I am afraid of being different, therefore I react negatively to him pointing it out, which he goes, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not trying to hurt you, but I see him as trying to attack me
Yeah.
because that is the manifestation of me reacting to my anxieties. Nice dribble. And
Can't.
but that's definitely what it was. Is I don't know,
Man.
maybe more wisdom will come out of that experience of me losing my mind.
Yeah.
But also,
Sped cunt.
yeah, also, I've got a lot of wisdom from that little experiment of me changing my role in the group when I get high, you know?
Yeah. Well, it would. Like, I feel like there's not much for me that I can change because I'm both. I can talk and I can observe.
Wrong. If you can always change. I
I've
thought the
always,
exact
I've
same
strictly observed on nights and I've like talked on nights. I know the difference. Like when you talk, you don't hear as much. When you obviously don't talk, you hear a lot more.
thing. Yeah, but that's something that you already know. I never knew that. So it's crazy for me to realize.
Yeah.
And isn't it crazy that you've lived with that understanding your whole life and you've never explained it to me? And I've never knew that that was even a possibility for my life. You don't understand the fucking astonishment in my mind when I realized you can just listen to everyone and actually hear what people are saying in conversations that aren't of your own. Like, not like a podcast, but on the side of the road, you walk past a group of people, or like you're next to a table, you just listen to what they're saying, like in depth, listen, like every single word, listen. I never fucking did that. So the fact is that I never knew that, and you knew that. if you were to learn something, it'd be something that you never even knew about. You know, like there might be something that I do that you've never even fathomed that's possible.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that in this existence of being a human being, there's that great of an epiphany that is completely altering of my reality. And I never knew about it, but you did, and we never explained it to each other. It's not even tangible in our thought. You just do it, and it's not even something to you, but it's massive to me. That's insane to me. And why is it illegal? The only way the only way this came about to me is through this, and it's illegal. And how much it's helped me so much. I'm not an anxious person by nature. I'm not anxious at all. But this drew out the small amounts of anxiety that I have in myself, and it's ripped it out of me. I no longer have this anxiety. It's made me a better person.
Yeah.
And I feel so much better after it. Like,
That's fucking good.
legalize. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, that was when you when all the boys were like always greening out.
Yeah.
I wasn't hearing any of that because I had my earphones on, like blaring Metallica and shit like that. I just turn around and I just see everybody kind of looking at you, just going. Tom's like,
They're all pointing at me.
yeah, and I just take my headphones off. He's greening out. I look at you. The last time I looked at you, you were like, chilling. Next time, ghost face, bro. I'm like, fuck, bro.
And everyone says the same thing. Bro, you're not pale, you're like white. And I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
that's how I know I'm fucked. When I go pale,
Bro.
it's bad.
Bro, yeah, that's why it fucking shocked me because I can look at you, fuck, all the colour from your face is gone. I was like,
it happens.
Yeah. Oh, well, it does happen. Weed's a good fucking tool.
It's a tool, it's not a drug, you know, it's a tool. Definitely. It's a plant. Like, why the fuck does a plant hold that information for myself?
Yeah. It's just like, here's something that you can have fun with and like improve yourself maybe.
And it helps you access your mind. Like, I feel like this year, it's crazy that every year of my life becomes the best year of my life. And
Well, that's good.
I feel like I feel like I'm on a snowball effect right now. Well, the way my life is going right now, I feel so unstoppable with what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I feel crazy support from everyone that sees what we're doing with this podcast. You know, we get so much love for this.
Yeah.
You see so much people saying, this is exactly what you guys should be doing. You know, people see that this is what we want to do. And we're just doing it. We don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I, previously, with only a year ago, would be mortified to post something on Instagram because I cared about what people thought about me. Now I just post it and I delete Instagram. I'm like, I'll respond. Like, I keep it for like a couple hours after. I respond there and then I delete it and then I download it again when I post the next thing. You know? I fucking used to be afraid of the 1% who would go, why the fuck is you doing that? And I'd be scared that these people no longer, like, I can't even understand how stupid I feel, but I feel like a lot of people feel like this. They
100%
post something,
people feel like this.
they post something, and it's not like what I'm posting is rubbish. It means something to me. Therefore, it's not like me with a picture of alcohol on my story. It's not like that. It's legit. Like, I've put effort into this. I love this. I want to share it with people. I hope you like it. Why would I be nervous to share that with people? It's what I want. A podcast is meant to be shared. People are meant to listen to this shit. Who am I to fucking be scared to share it?
Yeah, bro, like, that's with everybody. Everybody, like, will wait a couple of weeks or something like that to post something again because they want something to be, like, good. Or,
What do you mean?
like they want... If you're posting too consistently, you're considered, like, I feel like a scat cunt.
Yeah.
Like, people are, oh, look at this guy. He's always posting, and then like people are always like in your name is in their mouth because it's like, oh, he's
They see you
posting
more.
so much. What is he fucking? Who's he think he is?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I know with me when I had Instagram for a bit, for a lot of it, I was like, I would like time. If I got a photo that I wanted to post on Instagram, I would time when I'd fucking like put it out.
Like, during the day or during weeks?
Like, exactly. Like, I would pick a day. Not even like pick a day, but pick a time
On a day.
on that day. Or if I felt like I was on the right day, I'd be like, if it was a Sunday, I don't know, maybe because I'd be like, everybody's like on their phone, like because they're doing nothing, and that's all they'll see. Or it'll be like, I don't know, in the morning, in the afternoon on a certain day, yada yada. Trying to like fit
Work the system.
work into the algorithm of when everybody's gonna be fucking on.
Yeah.
Just so they could see me. What a selfish cunt that is. Just to be like, hey, let me fucking time this fucking shit.
And
So
everyone
it just
times
pops
it.
up
Hey,
on your feed.
everyone times it.
But like, it doesn't need to be done. If you really like something that much and you're going to post it, just fucking post it. People will see it. People will like it.
Yeah.
Or not like it. I don't fucking know. But
Like, I did a weird thing. I was at wrestling, and the guy who I tackled in my wrestling video on Instagram, he was right next to me. And I thought he was going to come up and ask for my Instagram because he was talking to the other wrestlers, but he didn't end up coming up to me. And I didn't want to give him my Instagram with having me fucking railing him on my Instagram. So I just deleted it. I'm like, I don't need this on here anymore because I didn't want him. I didn't want the anxiety of a small percentage of him walking up to me and asking, "Hey, bro, how you going? Let me get your Instagram." All right. He looks at it. Oh, this is a wrestling comp. Oh, here's me being fucking injured.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable, so I got rid of it. But I probably should have kept it. But
yeah, when you fucking, it's like, when you have time to reflect on it, you're like, that's so stupid.
yeah.
Like, it doesn't really, none of it,
Doesn't matter to me.
nothing matters like on social media.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not real. You know, all it is a tool for spreading the word. You know, of this podcast. That's what I use it for.
Yeah, it's just just a tool for spreading yourself and like
showing people what we're doing, and that's all we have to do. But I always have to say off the search bar, bro. You get those fucking fucking recommended searches, all the pictures. Bro, I'll get lost in there. I gotta get me out. I fucking just tap away from it. Like it's like TikTok. It's a drug. Like, you just get caught scrolling.
I'd waste like a full thing of lunch. Just
Yeah.
yeah, Widgie. How long have we gone?
How long we going?
How long have we been gone?
1:11.
That's good. Yeah, I would waste like a lunchtime every day, even a smoko, like a proper, so an hour during the day, just fucking like this, not talking. Got like 4 other workers around me doing the exact same thing,
Yeah.
just scrolling. It's like we are literally, I don't know what I want to say, but we're like mindless fucks when we get on our phones. Because you'll just see, once someone does, like once conversation starts to die down,
People
everybody just goes, oh yeah, yeah.
they
And
gravitate
then they
to
just
it.
grab it, and then you just sit back and look at the room, and everybody's just mindlessly scrolling away. Like, not that there's anything wrong with that, because sure, everybody needs some downtime. Like, do what you like doing, I guess, but it's just a bit, it's shit. Like, after deleting it, like, you do realize that you can do more with your time.
Yeah, so much more.
So,
That's all there is to it with that.
yeah.
Like, that's all it is. You just realize that. Like, I was never the one to really be involved in social media, like posting regularly. But from hearing what other people who've deleted it, it's a completely paradigm shift of their personality. Like, they realize so much about themselves after they get rid of it. And if you haven't deleted it or whatever, just experiment for a month. You know, just see what it's like. Feel that time with like, what do you want to do with your spare time? Like, I was watching a video and this guy was saying, because I was lost with what I wanted to do with myself for a while this year and last year and through the last years of high school. I never knew what I wanted. And I was watching this guy and he said, if you're lost at the moment, don't be worried. He said, being lost is where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because when you're lost, be grateful for being lost, because you're on the cusp of a new discovery about yourself. And I was just like, what? And he fucking blew my mind. He said, are you lost right now? And in my head, I said, yes, I'm lost. And he said, what are you They say, what do you actually want to do? He says, most of us are lost due to fear, right? I'm butchering the fuck out of this, but he said, most of us are lost due to fear. So what do you want most in life that you're scared to tell other people? And I was just like, fuck. I want to do stand-up comedy and I don't want to tell anyone. So
Is that actually what you don't want to do, like, as a job?
yeah.
Serious?
So I want to do stand-up comedy. So
Oh,
I'm
I
going to
thought
go
you
do it.
only wanted to do this as like a little fucking thing.
I've been thinking about it so much more. It's like, bro, I think I can do
Oh, well,
this.
fucking shoot for the moon, cunt.
I'm
I
doing
thought
it.
You just
I'm
wanted
gonna-
to do like
I've been writing
fucking
jokes
the
down and
thing to
shit.
just try it out and be like, oh, that was a fun part of my life.
No, I
Fucking
like
shoot
it
for the moon, cunt.
because I see so much. I see everything that I'm scared of in it, but I see so much I can excel in it, and it makes me excited to try that because it really excites me. And
Yeah.
I see like the hard work makes me excited because I feel like, bro, bombing and being embarrassed is something I hate, and my biggest fear is fear of rejection, which is why I don't have a girlfriend because I'm scared of putting myself out there to be rejected.
What's up, ladies? My boy
What's up,
Harry
ladies?
here, single,
Guess what? You
know,
can't
get on
message
it.
me because that's me being a bitch. I have to message you if I'm interested, all right? So you can't message me ever because I won't respond because that would be fulfilling myself as a bitch because I am always the guy to be approached rather than approaching because I'm scared of you rejecting me.
Or just do it because he could be getting rejected left, right, and center.
No, I never get rejected. I've never been rejected. I've never put myself even out there to be rejected. I've never asked a girl on a date and not gotten it because when I have, it's been one that's already been interested in me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a bitch, and my biggest fear is the rejection of not being liked by a person by revealing, because I'm a very open person. So when you meet me, that's me. You don't have to do anything to earn me. My trust is there, my personality is there, and I treat you nicely. You don't have to earn anything from me. So me revealing so much of myself and then finally express that I am interested in you, that puts me so open just to be demolished. So that being my biggest fear, it makes me want to destroy that fear because that is the biggest weight on my personality. It's the biggest hindrance to me as a human. And I feel like if I can get rid of that and do something, it'll start off as a hobby. Of course, you can't just make it and stand up over a year. It take like a decade, right? And I just want to start doing it on weekends, and maybe during the week I do like open mic nights and stuff. But I want to face that fear because I feel like that is right now, with my limited perspective, it is one of the few things that I think I need to really improve about myself. It is one of the biggest hindrances. Like, the reason why we had that conversation with Batty, and he's saying, oh, bro, you're an introvert and you're an extrovert, and I couldn't figure out which one I was. It's because I'm an extrovert because I can do this. I can talk for fucking ever. I can talk to a lot of people easily, and I have ideas that just flick off my brain easily, and that makes me an extrovert. But I'm also an introvert because I hate phone calls. I won't pick up your fucking phone call because I just don't like talking to people over the phone. I won't ring up the mechanic and ask how my motorcycle's going because I'm nervous about talking to him over the phone. But I can talk to him in person very simply, but the phone, I won't chase up things that I should chase up because I'm scared of the risk of failure. I'm scared of the rejection of not getting what I want. And that is the biggest bitch shit. And I'm trying to rewire myself. So doing open mic night where I'm going to get laughed at, not because I'm funny, but because I'm shit to start off with, that is going to make me build a certain personality trait that is going to make me so much more like attractive to myself. I will respect myself so much more if I go, I used to be scared of this. Now I don't give a fuck. Now I can approach anyone. Really, now I can just ring. Like if I want it, I'm going to go get it. So that's why I want to do it beyond I'm interested in comedy.
Yeah, I'm not even wanking you want to say. I reckon you would do good in it. I reckon you could do great in it.
Thank you, bro.
It's just, yeah, you'll fucking bomb definitely the first couple of times. I know you will.
But what if I don't? See, this is the ego that comes in. I go, wait,
Bro,
what if I'm like
I'll be there just waiting for you to bomb. I'll just be there and just waiting. But yeah, no, I reckon you'll give it a fucking good shot. Like, I know for like the group that I'm with you in, like you make fucking everybody laugh. You're just charismatic. You're fucking on the ball. Your storytelling is like, you do have that ability.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think my storytelling lacks. But look
No,
at it.
because you just I don't know. It might, bro. You could be shit, but it's the way you tell the story. You're like so involved with it. You just
That's when I'm super
and
comfortable.
you're like as soon as you like get into it, you go to like hyper and you're just like so fucking. You're just
Yeah. And that's like what you guys witness on this podcast is the me of me. Like whatever all the boys have told me is when they watch this podcast, they are witnessing Harry Stratton in his element. This is the most pure Harry you'll ever meet. A lot of guys who might say I played footy with you in like when we were younger, you will not recognize me because when I was in the footy team, I was quiet because I wasn't comfortable in that setting. Therefore, I couldn't express myself because I didn't feel comfortable with all the footy boys. And I don't know why I felt that way, but I just could never be myself properly. I was just Harry. I was good at footy, but I didn't talk that much. And therefore, the boys in the footy team didn't really get close with me as much as the other guys. And that's fine. Like I don't care about that. But that's how like the difference. The reason I want to do stand up is because the me that I am here could do well on stage. So, and if I can be who I am here in the most crazy of a situation, which is being on stage, being judged by people, trying to be funny. Like I'm trying to be, which is the hardest time to be funny. If I can express the person I am now, which is just like loose and fucking manic with my conversation, and I can get hyped and I can fucking G up and be really comfortable. If I can be like that on stage, I can be like that with anyone. I can be like that in any situation, and that'll make me a better human. Because who I am here wasn't who I was at footy training and at school. So I wasn't happy across all aspects of my life with who I was. So I want to be like this. I want to develop the confidence to be who I am now across all aspects. And I've noticed that already. From starting this podcast, this personality that I am here leaks out into all other aspects. And I'm more myself with more people more often.
well, that's good.
It's very good. I'm very happy to see it. Have you noticed anything like that? Have you noticed any differences from starting the podcast?
I don't know because I'm not really that much of a social person and I don't know that many people. Yeah, no. Maybe I guess I'd have to wait for other people to tell me if I'm changing,
Yeah.
like more open. But yeah, for me, I guess I'm the same. I guess I can say the same thing as in school. I was the most quiet cunt out. Like you wouldn't get like a peep out of me unless I was like your close mate.
Yeah.
But what you're hearing here is the same as you. This is true me.
This is the real Angus.
This is the real me. Deal with it. This is who I
That
am.
was a bit cringe.
Because I got nothing to say. I'm like,
Do you feel like talking about yourself now makes you a bit nervous, or are you comfortable?
talking about myself. No,
Yeah, like just then, like trying to explain how you might be different and like how this is the real you. Does that make you nervous or not?
No, that doesn't make me nervous. It's like you're trying to put into words like,
Yeah.
because I don't want to say the same thing you're saying.
You can definitely say the same thing I'm saying if it's true to you.
But yeah, I just agree with you. Same boat. School completely different. Now this is me. What you're hearing here is me. Angus Monroe.
And it's interesting that there's different degrees of that. Like I was the quiet kid, and then I'm here and I'm fucking like really hyper talkative. But you were the quiet kid, and you're still a quieter person,
Yeah, I
even
am.
though you're comfortable. And that's just your temperament, you know. I'm very interested to see how you will probably change due to like an increase in confidence and shit from this podcast if it becomes successful.
Yeah.
It'll be crazy to see.
Yeah, that would be weird. What would also be weird
What?
is if this does get to like heights of like famous,
Yeah.
dealing with like everyday people just coming up to you. Hey, can I get a photo? I wonder if I'd get sick of it.
You would. But you just explain it on the podcast and people would leave you alone.
Would they?
You say, well, obviously, if this becomes famous, you're obviously going to become a stand-up comedian too, and you're going to
Definitely not, bro.
You could.
I mean-
you have good ideas too, bro. Think about I'll allow you to finish and we'll talk.
Okay, look, I don't. Pardon me. I don't want to necessarily. I don't see myself doing stand up, being a stand up comic. But I do see myself as, not to wank myself, but naturally funny.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like that's where.
Wank yourself.
No, it's not even wanking myself. That's where I was going to say comfortable, but it's not like I don't feel the need to push myself in, I guess, that area.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's perfectly reasonable. It is interesting because like why I'm trying to work out why I feel like I need to.
if people want me to do stand up comedy, I'll just be like, no. If you think I'm funny on my podcast, that's where you're gonna get it. Because I don't feel the need to try and do something else where I know I'm doing good here. It's not even the fact that stick in your zone. It's like I'm kind of going out of the comfort zone, not really, a bit with doing this.
Yeah.
Put myself out here, at least trying to be somewhat entertaining.
Yeah.
So, yeah, doesn't really matter, I guess. Podcasting, being a comic, stand-up comic, yeah, no, not for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right now, because I would bomb and I couldn't write a joke to save my life.
Yeah.
And the whole storytelling shit, but yeah, later down the track, I still feel like I'll have the same thing whether I even increase in how funny I get.
Yeah.
If I even do.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, I don't see myself as very funny though, but I feel like I have the mind to think of jokes.
oh yeah, I'm not very funny. I feel like I'm just naturally funny. I guess you could say quick-witted.
Because I know a lot of people that are way more funnier than me, but they're just not ready. They just don't want to be a stand-up comedian because they just don't like the idea of bombing. But I'm not too I'm phased by it, but I'm not not gonna do it because I'm phased by it. It's Jacob is so funny. He could be a great one.
God.
I see it in him. I see him and he makes me laugh so much. He makes everyone laugh so much. I'm saying, and I think he would kill at it, but he's also a very shy person too, just like me. And he's not the same with me as he is with everyone else. And he's not the same. Yeah, you know what I mean? So the way he can make us laugh, if he did that to a crowd, there's no way they couldn't laugh. And
I feel like it would be perfect for Jackass.
yeah, he's gonna be crazy. So the reason why I'm trying to think about why I want to be myself on stage so I can be myself. Imagine if I feel like people who listen to this podcast and haven't met me and then they meet me, they'll have a greater understanding of who I am more than a lot of people who I vaguely know in my past. You know what I mean? So I feel like if I can establish this me as who you know, I can therefore be myself more around everywhere of my life.
Yeah.
And because this is me being on this podcast is my true essence. I'm trying to be the most myself as I possibly can. And I feel this is just a personal belief of mine that anyone who is themselves as much as they can, I feel like they are attracted to success. So I feel like in order to be successful in my life, I need to be myself and not care what anyone else thinks and be my true self first beyond anything else. And that will result in me getting what I want in my life, plus hard work. So the idea of me taking this person and putting it on stage and tinkering with it on stage, I feel like that personality, me being able to be comfortable, will be funny because it's me being true. And I feel like the audience can sense a genuine comfort and they'll go, oh, he knows himself. And that is I think that's an attractive trait to a lot of people that you pick up subconsciously, you know? I'm not being fake. And I feel like by channeling being my true self, and I'm not getting a mortgage because everyone else gets a mortgage. I'm not going to business because everyone gets a business. I'm not doing what everyone else is doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. I feel like people respect that. and then they're more likely to like you in a weird way, or like you're more likely to be successful because you're going in your direction that you want to go in, and that will inevitably lead to success because you're doing what you're meant to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's also hard work that's involved in it, and I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Did it make any sense?
Yeah. I won't lie. What I did hear made sense, but I lost you because I don't even know
Went
what
in your
happened. Huh?
Did you go in your head?
Yeah, I went in my head, but it was like this. I stared at something. Wasn't even staring. I was just looking, and then I just went, "Oh shit, Harry's talking." Went back to you,
Yeah, that happens a lot.
and then
with
I
me.
was like, and then I noticed that I was fidgeting,
And you thinking about how you're fidgeting.
and then I'm just like, let me just try and stop fidgeting, see if I can concentrate on Harry more. Stopped, and I'm like, this is actually really hard. So I started twisting this again, and I'm like, yeah, geez.
That's crazy. I couldn't even realize.
But yeah, I don't know, man. You do you.
Yeah, that's the plan.
If it's like,
And you do you.
yeah,
That's all we can do.
literally.
And I feel like this podcast is a direction that both of us have wanted to do this for so long.
Yeah.
And this is just, it's called self-actualization. You know that? It's like we are achieving who we really want to be in life,
Yeah.
rather than doing what everyone else thinks we should do.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that's why people like our podcast. Well, the people that we know who know we do it and who actually know that we're doing this. Like, your parents are really supportive. My family's really supportive. Everyone likes that we're doing this because they see that we're just doing it for ourselves. And that is just inspiring in a weird way. Not that we're inspirational, but the idea that people are like these two kids are just doing this because of the joy of doing it.
This is like, I'm pretty sure. Yes, this is the first thing I've done in my life where I haven't had support from anyone, and we've just gone and done it ourselves. We've got all the bits ourselves. We started it ourselves. We're learning along the way.
Yeah.
And to everybody else, they're just observing, going, "Oh, cool, you're doing this now."
Yeah, I think it's weird that we've just broken away and we're doing this completely different thing that no one even thought we would even do. Podcast.
Like, who the fuck is doing this at 19? Probably
A
somebody.
bunch of people. Because
There's like a million podcasts
so many.
worldwide. Holy fuck.
Like, the idea that we
This
would ever
gets
get
big.
anywhere is crazy.
Ooh. God forbid, but
But
God forbid I get rich. Yeah. It'd be insane.
yeah, well, to come back to the self-actualization, this podcast could go nowhere. It can go somewhere. It doesn't really matter, right? But I have this weird feeling, right, that we're doing this podcast in a very pure form. We're doing it out of the love of our hearts because we want to do it, right? And I feel like that has a weight to it that people see. And that's what people like about a thing, So, like, this podcast could be successful because we're one of the few people who are actually being ourselves on the podcast. We're not acting.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be someone. We're not doing it because Joe Rogan does it. We're doing it because we want to do it. We're not trying to be Joe Rogan. We're trying to be us.
Yeah. Sure, Joe Rogan, inspired.
Inspirational, but
This is for us. It's like, it looks fun. We want to do this. Like,
and we're not trying to be Joe Rogan. We're
way.
being Angus and Harry. I'm not trying to.
bro, if we were trying to be Joe Rogan, we'd be talking about, like, the most fucking crazy shit all the time.
But to be fair, what does Joe Rogan talk about when he's with his friends?
When he's with his friends, I don't know.
Like, yeah, you don't even know, because that's what people would say when they say, what do Harry and Angus talk about? We don't even know. There's so much shit. I know it's me and you, we talk about our personal journeys a lot. We go into depth on, or maybe it's me, because I probably draw it in that direction because I'm really interested in psychological things. But yeah, talk about patterns in friendships and shit. Like, that's
Yeah,
very
you're
interesting.
heavy into that. I'll tell you that much.
Oh my God. Guys, once you realize it,
as
you
soon as
cannot
you-
unsee it.
As soon as you started talking about it, like, you just grabbed onto that. Now you're just like,
It's stuck
Yeah.
in my head. I can't get rid of it. But it's very valuable.
yeah. It is, like, cool to notice, but like, I feel like it's on everybody's mind, But I feel like it's in the way that everybody's kind of like, am I like, how am I seen in the group? Not how is everybody else seen in the group, or how everybody fits in the group. It's all about where you kind of fit.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can figure out how the group works because you figure out. Just do these little. I do these little experiments, right? Where I sit outside by myself. Who's the first person to come outside? This guy. Then 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 eventually everyone's outside, and you say, okay, why did everyone go outside? Because I decided to go outside. You know what I mean? Like that's weird. And then someone might go inside. Why'd they go inside? And who follows them inside? And I do this thing. I notice at uni, right? It's very odd at uni. When I'm at uni, it's a different vibe completely. Like it's as I'm saying, right? You know how I said like if people meet me like this, they will know me like this, and therefore they will see me. I'm a different Harry to the people who knew me in my past.
Yeah.
So like I am self-actualized because through this podcast, I'm more comfortable and happy being like this. So I'm like this at like this at university. I don't give a fuck. I'm just myself.
Well, that's good.
Right? So then I notice patterns at university, right? I'll be at uni. We'll be having lunch after uni, after a lecture. And we're like, oh, what are we going to do? We're going to go study. I'm like, all right. So we'll pack up. And because I'm just doing I'm just at uni. I'm an individual. I'm not like trying to do anything for the group. I just walk towards the toilet to go towards the toilet because I'm just going to the toilet. I'll meet you. Like you guys are going to the study room. Go to the study room. I'm just going to the toilet. I see the group like look at me. Where are you going? They like follow me and they go, where are you going? I'm like, going to the toilet. They're like, oh, and they all turn around and go the other way. I'm like, why are you guys all following me, bro? You see, like that shit freaks me out.
Yeah.
Oh, it was weird, bro. It happens
are-
every fucking time.
People who are, I guess, they are lost as well because they need a leader, and they see you as a leader because you're the most yourself.
It freaks me out.
Yeah, because like you don't give a fuck, so people are drawn to that. Yeah,
It's like I almost feel guilty of being that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm trying to work out why. Because
why you feel guilty, or why?
Yeah,
they
why
follow.
I feel guilty. Because it's a matter of fact, right? I will be sitting at the table. We'll pack up, or we're gonna go downstairs into the room to go study, or we'll be going over to like the common area or whatever. And they'll say that, and I'll just go along. And then they'll get up, I'll chuck myself in the road, and I'll just put my bag on and just start walking to the bathroom because I need to go to the toilet. Then I'll just see like them trickle following me. And it's not. And then where are you going? To the bathroom. And they'll be like, oh, and they'll turn around. And they'll talk amongst themselves and they'll just go away. And I don't know why it is the case. Like, I don't know why. It's hard to explain. I feel guilty because I feel like I am taking a dominant role when I don't want to be a dominant role. I want to be an equal. I don't want to be a leader when I'm at university. I want to be like, I want everyone to be equal when I'm at uni. I don't want to have a gravity to where I go, people go. I don't like being the
It's
top
like
of
you
the direction.
are an established, unconscious thing. That's what you are. You're like an established leader unconsciously.
Yeah. So it's like, why? So I feel bad about that, and I don't know why I feel bad about that.
Well, you probably feel bad because you probably are you in the mindset like that everybody should be themselves. Like,
Everyone should
don't
be a
hold
leader
them.
of themselves. That's how I see.
That's probably why you feel guilty.
Yeah.
Because you're like, don't follow me, do your own thing. That's probably why you fucking feel guilty.
Well, I feel guilty because.
So you do know why you feel guilty.
What?
So you do know why you feel guilty.
No, because I'm thinking about it now. I sort of feel guilty because I feel so like here's how I feel, and this might not be the case because some people might just feel like they would rather follow because that's their personality. But I feel like I follow only for a certain amount of reasons, which is different for everyone. But from my perspective, which is why I feel guilty that people would follow me, I would want them to do their own thing, is because the reason I do my own thing is because I'm free. I don't feel like I need to live up to any expectations from anyone at uni. Like they're all my friends, and I like all my friends at uni. And I love having conversations because everyone's different at uni. It's a very different vibe than I've ever been to in my life. And everyone's very, from what I expected at uni, I thought everyone was going to be like PC, like political correctness, and it was going to be really like censored, and I felt like I wasn't going to be comfortable being myself. Opposite. I feel so comfortable. I love having conversations with my friends at uni because I can be myself, and it's really open-minded with people are just happy to listen, and I'm happy to hear their opinion, and it's really nice. So I see that, and it makes me happy, and I feel so free there with not worrying about anyone's expectations because I'm comfortable with who I am. So then when I feel like when people follow me, it's because they're not comfortable like with themselves in a way, you know what I mean? Like they follow me because they're looking for someone to like make decisions because they're not comfortable to make decisions they're not comfortable being a leader themselves, because when the decision falls on them, they feel the pressure of everyone around them not liking them if they make the decision the group doesn't like. You know what I mean? So I would wish that like people would like be a leader within themselves. It's hard to explain.
So basically what I said, yeah.
I don't want to. Yeah, I went a long way around that. Like, I don't want to shit on anyone because who knows, maybe one of the people from uni won't be listening to this. And I don't want to sound like, I hope I'm not, doesn't sound like I'm talking shit because I love everyone at uni. It's just, I notice these patterns, you know? Because I notice I have them on Instagram, but no one's mentioned to me at uni. So I wonder if they've checked it out. That'd be interesting to see.
Who knows?
Hopefully they like it. It's a different. I'm also like less reserved here though because I hold like some. I'm not going to talk about like pedophiles at uni, obviously.
You get a few fucking like.
Yeah, I said one joke though. I said we were talking about how one of the girls there was going to. She said she went down to like a local footy game and there was a massive fist fight and one guy punched his girlfriend on the field, and I was like, "Oh, that sucks." And I was just like, domestic violence, an acquired taste. And one of the girls like, and I was like, oh, okay, too far. Chill, Harry, chill. Like, that's a part where I have to, like, censor myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, people always got their ears out, you know what I mean? Like, who's listening? It's very weird like that. So I don't, that's also, like, the PC feeling, trying to censor myself a bit. But that's rare. You just can't be, you got to, like, know that you're talking in a university campus. You can't be too fucking loose.
Yeah.
You don't want to upset anyone. Yet.
Yet.
Yeah, once I'm like a savage, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Oh, right, yeah.
like once I like, I'll just figure out where the boundaries are and I'll just slowly push them, you know? That's what I usually do. Well, I don't usually do. What am I saying? I've never done it, but I'm planning on doing it.
Yeah, just like me planning on stopping these.
Yeah.
After these, because I have two. Fuck you. Don't even try and say, just do it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just listening.
No. But like it always happens. But after these two, I've got some of that niggerette shit, like gum and like little tablets, like just to fucking suck on.
Fuck yeah.
So see how that goes.
Yeah. Look at my body language. Look at my body language.
I noticed
I'm
that.
analysing you.
You were like this for, I swear, like half an hour. You were just like, just like.
No, just then I noticed I shifted when you started talking about nicotine. I was just like, eh?
Yeah,
like,
you were like, fucking.
I was just trying to analyse what you were going to say to like understand where you're coming from. Yeah, so you got the gum and shit.
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
No, not yet. Yeah.
I think it'll be a good. I feel like it'll be a good chapter. I feel like it's going to help you heaps.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I'm starting basketball soon. Again. Which will be good.
Matt.
Yeah, getting the old team back. A
You
couple
are?
of new guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I will not be joining.
Why not, bro?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I suck at basketball.
It's great fun. Bro, I suck at basketball. All I do is fucking run the ball up the field, try and sink some threes.
Point guard, bro. You're LeBron on the field.
Yeah, bro. 100%.
They even point guard. I don't even know the positions. I'm a basketball.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
I'm gonna take a wee.
Again.
I got those questions to tell you. Oh, Jacob Elfsled, Jacob Eljed, thank you for sending me the questions, mate. We're about to go through them. If you listen to this, you probably
How many are there? Two?
Yeah.
They better be locked.
They will be.
Yeah. More questions. Don't hold back. Throw them out there. Send them to the... email, which I don't even fucking know. I should know. It's like Night Meetups podcast at Gmail or some shit like that. Yeah. I don't know why Harry leaves me here. I can't fucking talk to you. Bro, you're taking really short pisses.
I just
For how much you need to pee?
I pump it out.
What, like you're straining, pumping it out?
No, I just have like a small bladder, I think.
Oh.
Or diabetes.
Good.
We went in deep on this one. We always go so deep.
This one I feel like it's been pretty fucking good though.
Yeah. But I don't know, the reason I'm like wigging out about it is I don't know what I've said. I can't, I get in the role and I just don't know what I'm saying until I read back at it.
Well, fucking...
But I trust that I'm being myself, so I don't have to worry.
When are we fucking gonna stop with that, eh?
What?
Just stop going, this has been like fucking good, like mid-podcast. Like, this is a really good fucking podcast. People are, for all we know, it could be fucking dog shit to everybody else.
Yeah.
But we've been getting positive feedback from you all, so thank you for listening again. We appreciate it.
Alright.
Far
Here's
away.
the first question. Say you have to suck a dick for 10 minutes. Would you rather
That's a long
do
time.
the first 90% or the last 10%? 9 minutes of sucking
So
a dick,
9 minutes of sucking dick.
then 1 minute of sucking a dick and getting a load. And let's just say it goes in your face. You don't have to put it in your mouth. Because that makes it so much worse. It just lands on your forehead.
That's a real tough one. I don't know. I feel like the last 10% is like just, it's all chat, but the last 10% is even more chat because you're getting the guy just going, ugh,
Yeah,
and
he
then
starts
just
to
cocking
groan, he
like
starts to
some shit.
vibrate.
But then if you're just fucking doing it for 9 minutes, all you're dealing with is some guy just going, oh, and you're there just having to suck this guy's cock.
And his belly is just like, you're bumping his belly
Cunt.
as you come in and out. Might be a bit of, you hit the snail trail with your forehead. But like, think about that 9 minutes. That's a solid 9 minutes of work, bro.
Yeah.
Like you're going, bro, in out 9 minutes is fucking
Yeah, bro.
endurance race. That's a marathon, and then you got the 1 minute sprint. Just tag team it. Which one? Me and you are going for it. Which one would you prefer?
Cunt.
And then give me a reason why. What's your reasoning?
I feel like, oh, it's such a hard one to answer.
9 minutes, sorry, that's a lot.
I'm not sure, but I think I'm taking the last 10. I think I'm just coughing a bit of drizzle to the face. Bro, because fuck doing all that work, eh?
What about-
That is so much effort. I feel like you've like surpassed that feeling of like going, oh, I don't want to fucking get a load to the face. I'll just suck for 9 minutes. 9 minutes, bro. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever been sucked off for 9 minutes.
Bro, imagine
9 minutes, get that through your head. Count
a long
to
time.
30 seconds. Even 10 seconds, and then just go, oh.
like 2 minutes straight of dick sucking is a long time to receive.
Yeah, bro.
9 minutes.
9 fucking minutes.
Bro, imagine being like this. Imagine 5 minutes in, and you're stopping it. Bro, I should have taken the 1 minute.
Yeah,
bro. I should have
exactly.
taken the one
That's
fucking
why
minute.
I'm like, cunt, I think I'm just going to have to cop a load to the face.
What about if it went in your mouth? Would you what would you do?
Oof. Big oof.
Would you go? I'd definitely go the 9 minutes if it was in my mouth.
Yeah.
The marathon's definitely worth it. I get a bit of cardio in there as well. I don't have to go for the walks or anything. Don't have to go on the treadmill. Be worth it.
Still, it's 9 minutes.
Burn some carbs.
9 minutes of just...
Bro, you
that's
get
an insane amount of time.
Bro,
Like,
9
props to
minutes?
any girl that does that.
9 minutes, a couple times a week. Get a fucking sick jawline
Oh,
eventually. I
bro.
bet.
Definitely, for shizzle.
Yeah, getting another person's semen in my mouth is not... Yeah, 9 minutes easy if it's in my mouth. On my face? Fuck, bro. You gotta get like a tissue and shit and get it out of your fucking eyes and shit. What if
You
it's
said
like
it's your forehead.
forehead, but it might be running.
Well, I'm taking my chance, bro. I'm still taking that last 10%. I'm not sucking dick for 9 minutes, bro.
Can you picture it? Just like, bro, fuck that.
Can you? I wasn't even thinking of that, bro. You just have to wait for him to start doing that, and then you just fucking can't close your eyes. You just close your eyes. You're like,
And you do the fucking.
wear some glasses, bro. Just here.
Yeah, windshield wipe that shit.
Bro.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do the same as you.
10%. I think that's it. The last 10%. Yeah.
Fall on your head. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine actually seeing that. Like it was an actual tag team. Like you had to do that. You just walk in, and the guy's just been sucking dick for 9 minutes. It's like, oh, you brother, my fuck. Seeing that guy just emotionally destroyed.
Tag team, bro. Like his hair's wet. And he comes out
sweating.
He comes out
balls,
with like,
bro.
It's like a humid room, so he comes out like red and steaming with like wet hair, and he goes, "I should have taken the
Just
fucking 1 minute, cunt. I should have taken the 1 minute."
He's just like, fuck you. Oh.
Yeah, bro. Imagine 9 minutes worth of saliva. Oh my god. Yeah, that 1 minute guy goes, bro. Thank fuck.
Yeah. Fuck that. Next question.
It's a completely different vibe. The next question. All right.
That's a solid question, but
Definitely a solid question. I liked it. All right. So, how often do you think males should be wanking a week? For example, if you have a girlfriend, should you be wanking at all? But
Yes.
if you're not living with your girlfriend and seeing her every day, how's that change? So, what do you think?
wait. So if you this
Like,
is all
so-
to do with having a
like
girlfriend.
within this is a couple of things we can go into when we talk about how often should guys be wanking. Do you think?
So if they have a girlfriend, or just a
Okay,
girl.
let's start now. How often should a guy be wanking? Do you think without a girlfriend?
Without a girlfriend, daily.
Daily?
Daily's fucking fine.
Yeah, as long as it's not like a detriment to like your mental health or like your stimulation.
fucking
Like
get
you can't get
home.
hard because you wank too often. Like
Bro, get home after a long day's of work, rub out that fucking anger, just.
yeah, that's not me, but I can't relate about that one. I reckon
Angry wank.
I don't think like a daily wank is a problem. I think daily pornography is a problem.
Yeah.
I think pornography is so much worse than the wank. Like a wank,
Yeah,
if
cloud
you're doing a
to
memory
night,
wank, bro, every day, a couple times a day even, like I didn't give a fuck. Because that's not like desensitizing yourself to sex, and it's not giving you unrealistic expectations of sex, because that's damaging. Like pornography, like, yeah, I've stopped watching pornography, essentially. I slip up every day, I relapse, but majority, like, I go weeks and weeks without.
Last couple of wanks I've had have been with no porn,
Yeah.
which is really weird for me.
I
I've usually had some.
It's been
to
hard.
wait to.
It's been hard for me, and I'll notice I want to do it. It's an addiction. Like you obviously really want to do it, and because it is so good, pornography is ridiculous, but it's not real. It desensitizes and motivates you to go and
It's
get a girl.
so amazingly shit. That's what it is.
I feel like porn relieves the stress of me wanting to get a girlfriend, because I'm a guy who doesn't want to put himself out there. So therefore, porn fulfills a need for me to see a girl naked, and therefore I won't go out and try and get a girl naked through dating a girl. You know what I mean? And that's really damaging to me as a person. A lot of guys won't relate to that because they're just sharks. They'll go out and fuck bitches, but that's not me. So I feel like a lot of that's my introverted side, and I feel like that's a massive thing for introverted guys is. Like porn takes up a space of not searching and not being hungry for a girlfriend or a girl.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I noticed that, and I'm trying to stop. And I'll say there's this mantra that I do, not mantra. It's this saying I say when I want to watch porn. I say I'll have a wank, then I'll decide if I want to watch porn. And every fucking time, bro, after I finish wanking, I go fuck porn, bro, fuck porn, and then I never want to watch porn, bro. And every time I want to wank, I go I want to watch porn, man, and I go. I'll watch porn after I have a
It's the
wank.
post-nut clarity, man.
Yeah, post-nut clarity. I'm
Oh
like,
my
fuck porn, bro. You
God.
just did it old school, bro. Fuck porn. It was so much better like that. And it always is. I always enjoy it so much better without it. Because you're not like, I immediately just feel ashamed, bro. Mid stroke, I'm like going onto the tab and like getting rid of it. Like, because I'm trying to get rid of it while I'm like sitting there. Like,
Bro, the amount of times
it's terrible.
I've just like, it makes me feel like a fucking sick, twisted fuck when I'm doing it. And everyone's fucking done it.
Even the girls out there.
Yeah.
With like the no girls.
No,
watching
just
porn.
fucking having a wank to a video. and then just going, not for me, this one. Let's fucking find another one while still
The
fucking
ego, bro.
Yeah,
the
bro.
fucking nerve.
Bro.
To say this girl isn't hot enough for me when they're all hot. You how fucking dare us.
I mean, except it's acceptable when it's like, oh, this is all right, and then out of nowhere the guy's just like,
Yeah, bro. I hate that
and
shit.
it just catches you off guard.
Or when the guy starts being louder than the girl. Get me out of that. Yeah. We're not here for you, champ. Alright? Isn't it weird that we watch people have sex?
Well,
That's
I was about to
odd.
say that. Why the fuck are we so attracted to that? Everyone on the planet.
We're all being
not
cuckolded
everyone.
by a guy through a TV screen. Like, that just seems off to me.
By someone we don't even know, two complete strangers.
Having sex.
Or it could be, that's the weird thing, people getting fucking porn stars. They're like, everybody knows a porn star. Kendra Lust. Fucking Madison Ivy. I fucking was like, I knew a bunch of porn stars as like a fucking young pubescent boy. And it's disgusting. Even though I know I will still
And it
probably do
fucks
it.
you up.
Yeah.
Because you have an unrealistic expectation of what you think sex is. And I've noticed, like, girls then feel like they have to fulfill those unrealistic expectations. Shit's getting more and more hardcore. People are into these deep fetishes before they even have sex for the first
Yeah.
time. That's not cool. Like, explore those fetishes, but you need to establish yourself as, like I don't know. You
In
wanna
an
come
actual
with-
sexual relationship.
Yeah, you
first,
gotta explore with a person rather than just with yourself and a computer screen. It doesn't seem healthy to me.
Yeah, that's actually, you know what? For the longest, I've been like, really just, now. I really just realised this now, but they've banned porn in like countries. It's like, why the fuck are they banning porn? It's for the better.
I think that you should have the right to.
Obviously, you should have the right, but in the long run, I feel like it's for the better.
Yeah, definitely.
You're going to have that drive, like you said. I feel like you will have that drive to be like, all right, time to man up and fucking try and go out there and get this bread.
Yeah. It'll push a lot of guys like us to actually go out. And
Well-
that's what I'm feeling. Like I feel I'm more ready to go out and find someone
Well,
rather
I'm not.
than what?
I'm not.
That's fine.
Because
You're chilling.
I'm not chilling anymore. Well, I'm chilling.
You don't need to say anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how often should a guy wank a week? I reckon every other day. I don't think like every day. For me, this is me personally. Every other day, not every day. Because then it
Not
becomes
every
too
day?
habitual, and then you need it to sleep or something. It becomes too ingrained in your
Holy
life.
fuck. It's not even that I needed to sleep. And when I can't sleep, I feel like everybody's the same. But not everybody's the same. But I know a bunch of people have told me they do it as well. But if I can't sleep, I just rub one out. And for some reason, I can sleep.
Knocks you out, eh? That's how
retarded.
girls will murder us, bro. Have you seen there was a technique in the war? Female spies would have sex with men, and then they'd fall asleep, and they'd stab them.
You know what I need to try
What?
once in my life?
What?
The grapefruit technique.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It needs
It's very
to
acidic,
happen.
though. Would it sting?
Huh?
Acidity on your penis. Would it sting?
If it gets in the pee hole,
Ugh.
ugh.
You gonna fucking seed in there?
Ooh.
Can you imagine?
Imagine trying to piss that
And she
out.
puts it in the tip, blows it down.
Yuck, cunt.
All right. So, how often should you be wanking when you have a girlfriend and you see her
When you have
regularly?
a girlfriend.
When you have a girlfriend, you see her regularly,
Depends on how often you see them.
a couple times a week,
A couple times a week? I don't know. Maybe a couple times a week.
wanking.
Yeah. 2, 3
But
times a week.
do you feel like you need to wank when you have a girlfriend? Because
It definitely goes down.
yeah, I remember
Definitely
I
goes
probably
down.
wanked like a handful of times when I was with my girlfriend because I just didn't feel the need. I was satisfied with
Yeah.
the sex I was having.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely goes down a fuck ton.
But if you're not living with her, maybe I'd much rather like have a relationship with like much rather be like sexual with her when I wank. You know what I mean? Than a stranger on the internet. You know what I mean? Like if I haven't had like a long distance relationship, but if that was the case, I'd probably want to wank with wank over my girlfriend rather than like pornography because at least you're like it's them. You can actually show them your love one way. Yeah, but as much as you feel like it when you don't live with them, fucking do whatever you want to do, I guess.
Yeah. Wonderbarn.
Wonderbarn.
Is that it for the questions?
Yeah, that was the two. It's pretty good, eh?
Yeah, those are fucking banging questions. Need more questions, guys.
Yeah, well, this one's going to be a bit rough to get to this point because we literally spoke about pedophiles for 10 minutes. Like, I bet we'll lose a
Yeah,
couple
good
people on that
luck.
one.
Good luck getting to here.
Yeah. Through all of that shit about, fucking, whatever we're talking about. Yeah, through me going crazy and shit about weed, like that's fucking full on to listen to as well.
Yeah. But interesting.
I guess so. Hopefully. Wanna call it?
Has to be done.
Alright, let me check this. Yeah, just about 2 hours right now.
Ooh.
That's a nice crisp.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. If you made it this far, we really appreciate you.
Yep.
Loving all the support. We're also going to try and get the podcast on iTunes and like iHeartRadio and podcast app and all that bullshit. Also got the video coming out. This will be like probably probably a full length video podcast. And that's all it is to it.
Yep.
It was a very deep podcast, like they all are.
Yep.
I don't know where this shit comes from. It's just me and Gus's soul connection that brings it out from each other.
Like we said, we don't want to be gods, but unfortunately we are. That's just how it is. Like,
it is true.
alright, you googly-eyed yahoos. Thank you for listening.
Alright. Ciao, motherfuckers. Oh, it didn't stop. It never fucking stops.
Yeah, I fucking munted.
Fuck your ass.